Most people researching Warrington want to know three things. What will it actually cost me? Are the schools worth it? And can I handle the commute? Let me walk you through the real numbers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether Warrington fits your family, your budget, and your lifestyle, or if you should be looking elsewhere. Hey, I'm Jim Stevenson, a realtor here in the Philadelphia suburbs. I've worked with hundreds of families who were trying to figure out exactly where they should land in this area. If you're ready to narrow down your search and want help thinking through your options, go ahead and book a call with me using the link below. We'll map out what matters most to you and which towns actually fit. And if you're still in research mode, scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description to grab my free Philadelphia Suburbs relocation guide. It'll walk you through everything you need to know before you start looking. Let's start with what it actually feels like to live in Warrington and why so many families pick it even when the housing market is competitive. Warrington sits right in the middle of Bucks County along Route 611. You're minutes from Doylestown, you're close to Montgomeryville, and everything funnels through the same corridor. That means convenience. It also means congestion. Route 611 through Warrington has 17 traffic signals along a 5-mile stretch. Some are spaced just a quarter mile apart. That's officially classified as a congested corridor. Most people don't mind it because you're getting every major store and service in the same stretch. You live a suburban lifestyle here built around Valley Square. Shopping centers, parks, and neighborhoods where most of the homes were built after 1970. In fact, about 78% of the housing stock in Warrington was built after 1970. That's one of the highest percentage for any town in Central Bucks. What that means is you're getting modern floor plans, bigger family rooms, attached garages, and subdivisions built for car life. If you're picturing historic Bucks County stone homes or walkable downtowns where you can stroll to dinner, that's not what Warrington is. This is newer development, bigger communities, and a layout designed around driving. Now here's where most buyers get tripped up. Warrington looks like it should be more affordable than towns with walkable downtowns, but the opposite is true. The median sale price for single-family homes is $615,000. Townhomes sit around $482,000, and even in a high-price environment, homes in Warrington sell in about 21 days. The Redfin competitiveness score is an 88 out of 100. 41% of homes sell above the asking price. When you see a town with high prices and fast sales at the same time, that's not random, that's demand. But the real driver of that demand isn't just the homes, it's the school district. If you talk to 10 families relocating from New Jersey or New York, 9 of them will tell you Central Bucks is the reason they're even looking here. And Warrington is entirely inside the Central Bucks School District. Every street, every home. There's no lottery of crossing into a weaker district. For most families, that's the whole decision right there. Central Bucks South, the high school for most of Warrington, has a graduation rate of about 96%. That's well above the state average. Keystone proficiency for English language arts is over 80% versus about 50% statewide. Math is over 73% versus about 42% statewide. Those numbers aren't just good, they change the buyer pool. More demand means more competition means higher prices. So when you see Warrington sitting in the mid 500s to mid 600s, that's what you're really paying for. School, stability, safety, and a housing stock that's newer than most of Bucks County. Here's where Warrington's school story gets more important than most people realize. Central Bucks is implementing a major grade realignment starting in the 2026-2027 school year. Elementary schools will shift from kindergarten through 6th to kindergarten through 5th. Middle schools will change from 7th through 9th to 6th through 8th. High schools will move from 10th through 12th to 9th through 12th. The district is also rolling out full-day kindergarten across all 15 elementary schools. If you've got kids entering kindergarten or transitioning between school levels in 2026 or later, this realignment changes which school they'll attend and for how long. Make sure you check the school attendance area maps before you lock in a house. Boundaries can shift with realignments like this. Now here's the catch. Warrington is not a commuter town if you work in Center City, Philadelphia. Could you do it? Sure. Will you enjoy it? Probably not. Driving to Center City with no traffic is around 40 minutes. With traffic, you're looking at 50 to 60 minutes on a good day. Public transit is slower. You're driving 7 minutes to Warminster Station for the regional rail, then taking a 54-minute SEPTA train into the city. Realistically, door to door, you're at 60 to 70 minutes each way. If you're hybrid or remote, that's fine. If you're going into the office 5 days a week, Warrington feels far. And that's why you see such a clear pattern with buyers. People moving from New Jersey or New York, they love Warrington. Hybrid workers from Philly, they tolerate Warrington. Daily Philly commuters, they go to Jenkintown, Glenside, Ambler, Lansdale, anywhere with a train line. This is why you never compare Warrington to towns like Ambler or Jenkintown. They serve completely different lifestyles. Warrington is for families who want newer homes, highly rated schools, low crime, more of a dense commercial corridor, and a suburban lifestyle that really revolves around cars. Everything else is just secondary. Let's talk cost of living, because this is where most people underestimate Warrington. New construction, that's where Warrington jumps. New luxury builds can run from the mid 800s to closer to 1.5 million. Why? Two reasons. Number one, there's not a lot of land left. Number two, the remaining land is getting developed into luxury subdivisions or high-density townhouse communities around Valley Square. Now let's talk taxes. This is the part most buyers misunderstand. On a $600,000 home in Warrington, you're looking at about $7,400 a year in property taxes. That's roughly $615 a month. At $700,000, you're around $8,600 annually, or about $715 a month. At $800,000, that jumps to roughly $9,900 a year, or $825 per month. Now here's how that compares. If you're moving from New Jersey, you just cut your tax bill in half or more. A similar home in Bergen County or Morris County, you're easily paying $15,000 to $20,000 a year. If you're comparing to Montgomery County towns like Ambler or Bluebell, Warrington's taxes are slightly higher, maybe $100 to $150 more per month, but you're also getting Central Bucks schools instead of Wissahickon or Springfield Township. That's the trade. If you move to Warminster or Lower Southampton in the Centennial School District, your taxes drop by about $150 to $200 a month. But the competition for your home drops too, because Central Bucks is, what most families are chasing. Here's the hidden part most buyers miss. The school district is about 3/4 of your tax bill. So when people say Warrington has high taxes, what they really mean is Central Bucks has high taxes. And families pay that premium willingly because of the graduation rates, the test scores, and really the long-term resale value. That's why prices in Central Bucks stay strong even during market slowdowns. Here's where most buyers get burned. They budget for the mortgage and taxes, but they don't run the full monthly number with utilities and HOA fees factored in. Then they get to closing and realize their real cost is $500 to $600 higher than they thought. Let me show you the math on two scenarios. First, a townhome buyer. Say you buy a $350,000 townhome. You put 20% down, so you're financing $280,000 at 6.5% for 30 years. Your mortgage payment is about $1,770 a month. Add $627 for taxes, $150 for insurance, $200 for HOA, and $400 for utilities. Your total monthly cost is roughly $3,150. Now let's look at a move-up single-family home at $550. With 20% down at 6.5%, your principal and interest lands around $2,784 per month. Your taxes are roughly $986 per month. Insurance is about $175. No HOA, utilities run about $500 for a bigger home. You're at roughly $4,445 per month. Most families moving here are targeting the $550,000 to $700,000 range. That's the sweet spot for single-family homes with decent yard space in Central Bucks School District. And when you break out utilities, here's what you're actually paying. Electric bills average $250 to $350 a month using Pico at about 20 cents per kilowatt hour. Gas runs another $80 to $150. Water and sewer through Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority is about $50 to $80 per month, and their rates just increased 15% in January 2025. Trash pickup through private haulers like Penn Waste is around $40 a month. Add it all up and your total utilities hit somewhere between $320 and $520 per month depending on your home size. Always run the full carrying cost before you make an offer. Let's pivot to what daily life actually looks like. Warrington is built around Valley Square. Wegmans, Ulta, DSW, Panera, Duck Donuts, Regal Cinemas, Cowabunga Coffee. If you want convenience, Warrington really delivers. You live 5 minutes from everything. You don't need to leave your town for your daily errands. Grocery, coffee, restaurants, kids' activities, all within the same corridor. This is the main reason busy families choose Warrington. But if you want parks, trails, safe neighborhoods, and easy shopping, that's the sweet spot here. Lions Pride Park has 47 acres with playgrounds, tennis courts, walking trails. John Paul Park has 23 acres with a playground, roller hockey rink, sand volleyball, bike repair stations. And the 202 Parkway Trail links Warrington to Doylestown and Montgomeryville. That's a big perk if you run, bike, or just like being outside. Let's talk housing stock again, because this matters for inspections, renovations, and really your long-term value. The 2000 to 2009 decade alone added about 28% of the entire housing stock. This is important. It means fewer old home problems, less knob and tube, less oil heat, less random additions, more predictable construction, more predictable inspections. It also means more HOAs, more planned communities, and more development governed by township zoning. And speaking of zoning, the Corridor Mixed Use Overlay District is shaping the future of Warrington. This is what's driving the new higher density developments around Valley Square. Townhouses, 213 unit apartment proposals, walk to retail options that didn't exist a decade ago. If you're planning to buy and hold long term, understand this. Warrington will get denser in the core commercial zones. Not everywhere, not the single family neighborhoods, but the corridors will continue to grow. If you want complete quiet, choose neighborhoods off the main roads. If you like being close to shops, choose something near Valley Square. Most buyers think the biggest decision is price. It's not. The biggest decision is whether Warrington actually matches the way you live your life. Do you need a train? Warrington isn't it. Do you need walkability? Warrington isn't it. Do you want newer homes, top tier schools, lower crime, and really shopping convenience? Warrington absolutely is it. Let me give you an example. I worked with a family moving from Jersey City. They wanted strong schools, parks, and a newer home under $800,000. We looked at New Hope, too expensive. We looked at Warminster, homes felt older. We looked at Chalfont, not enough inventory. Warrington checked every box except the walkability. Once they saw Valley Square, the parks, Central Bucks South's test scores, and the home layouts, their decision became obvious. They bought a $760,000 single-family home. Their taxes landed around $9,000 per year. They cut their New Jersey tax bill by more than half. And they got a school district that ranks among the best in the state. That's a typical Warrington buyer outcome. Now here's who Warrington is best for. Families prioritizing schools and safety, remote and hybrid workers who don't need daily train access, buyers coming from New Jersey who want lower taxes without giving up school quality, and people who need convenience more than walkability. Here's who Warrington is not best for. Daily commuters to Center City, people who want walkable downtowns where you can stroll to shops and restaurants, buyers who need lower monthly payments, taxes can feel a little heavy here, and anyone who wants very old homes or historic neighborhoods. Let me close with the biggest misconception. People think Warrington is cookie cutter. What it really is practical. It gives you the things families actually use every single day. Schools, parks, shopping, trails, safety, predictable neighborhoods, and homes that don't nickel and dime you with hidden repairs. Those are the reasons Warrington stays competitive year after year. If you want help figuring out whether Warrington fits your lifestyle, your commute, and your budget, I'm happy to walk you through it. And if you want to compare it to towns like Chalfont, Doylestown, Horsham, or Warminster, I can show you exactly how the numbers line up. Just grab time using the link below, or download the relocation guide if you're still browsing. You don't have to figure this out alone. And if you're wondering how Warrington compares to Doylestown, I just released a full breakdown on why Doylestown was rated the #1 small town cultural scene in America. They're both in Central Bucks, but the walkability, the pricing, and the daily lifestyle are completely different. Check that video out next if you want to see how they stack up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.